Today, March 15th, 2026. Something huge just happened in Oslo, Norway. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney sat down with the leaders of all 5 Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland, and they dropped a bombshell agreement. The headline: Canada and Nordics focus on military procurement in Middle Power Meetup. These 6 nations just agreed to massively ramp up joint military production, share defense contracts, and build a new supply chain that deliberately reduces dependence on the United States. Why now? Because of Trump's tariffs that just wiped out 84,000 Canadian jobs and the growing fear that America is turning inward. This isn't just another meeting. This is the birth of a new middle power bloc in the Arctic. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this changes everything for NATO, Russia, China, and even your own country's future. Let's dive in. First, let's understand the pressure cooker Canada is sitting in right now. Since Donald Trump returned to the White House, he's hit Canada with steel and aluminum tariffs, auto sector duties, and even threatened 100% tariffs if Canada doesn't toe the line on fentanyl and border security. Just last week, February 2026 jobs report came out. Canada lost a staggering 84,000 full-time jobs. Unemployment jumped to 6.7%. Economists are calling it a gut punch, directly linked to those U.S. tariffs. Prime Minister Mark Carney, who took office promising economic resilience, has made it crystal clear we cannot keep all our eggs in the American basket. So what's his strategy? Diversification. He's already visited China, India, the Middle East, and now the Nordics. He calls it middle power leadership, countries that are rich, democratic, and technologically advanced, but not superpowers. The Nordics love this idea. They're small in population, but massive in defense tech. Sweden's Saab Gripen jets, Norway's submarines, Finland's artillery, Denmark's green tech. Together with Canada, and they form a perfect counterweight. Fast forward to today in Oslo. Carney and the 5 Nordic prime ministers, including Norway's Jonas Gahr Støre, released a joint statement that's being called historic. Key points straight from the official readout. Number 1, joint military procurement revolution. They agreed to coordinate defense purchases instead of each country buying separately from the U.S. This means better prices, faster delivery, and shared technology. Carney himself said, and I quote, "We will still do a lot of procurement with the United States, but in all cases looking to procure much more in partnership, and it's a much broader range of countries with whom we can partner." Number 2, Defense Industrial Ramp-Up Canada is putting $6.6 billion into its new Defense Industrial Strategy and Defense Investment Agency. The Nordics are bringing their own advanced manufacturing goal: build resilient supply chains that can survive any U.S. or Chinese disruption. Number 3, Arctic Security Wall. They explicitly committed to counter Russia's aggression in the Arctic and even push back against U.S. pressure on Greenland's sovereignty. Norwegian PM Støre called it middle powers, being concrete about what they can do together. Number 4, extra layers support for Ukraine, AI and space cooperation, critical minerals, and even a new Defense, Security, and Resilience Bank to finance all of this. This wasn't just talk. They watched NATO's cold response exercise together and visited military bases. This is real action. Now, let's get real about the bigger picture. This is classic 21st century geopolitics. The old world order was USA on top, everyone else below. Trump's America First is forcing everyone to find Plan B. Canada plus Nordics are 6 countries with combined GDP bigger than Russia, world-class defense industries, shared Arctic coastline, democratic values. They're creating a middle power NATO inside NATO, still loyal to the alliance, but no longer 100% dependent on Washington. For Russia, this is bad news. More coordinated Arctic patrols and defense production means Moscow's northern flank gets harder to poke. For China, they're watching closely. Canada and Nordics control huge critical minerals and rare earth routes. This bloc could block Chinese access if needed. For the United States, mixed feelings. Trump's team will call it betrayal. But many American strategists know that a stronger, richer Canada actually helps NATO overall. And for the rest of the world, especially countries like India, Australia, South Korea, this is a blueprint. Middle powers are rising and saying, wait-y-do, we don't want to choose between America and China. We'll build our own lane. So what happens next? Short term, expect joint bids for submarines, fighter jets, and drones. Canada might pick Swedish Saab or German Norwegian subs instead of pure US options. Long term, this bloc could expand, maybe add Australia or Japan later. Defense spending in Canada is already heading toward 5% of GDP by 2030. Risks? If Trump slaps even harsher tariffs, this partnership could accelerate into a full alternative trade bloc. But if relations improve, it might stay just a smart insurance policy. One thing is certain, the era of US or nothing is over. That's the full story of how 6 middle powers just rewrote the rules of military cooperation in real time. What do you think? Is this the beginning of the end of US dominance in the West, or just smart hedging? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I read every single one. If you want deeper dives on Arctic geopolitics, Trump tariffs, or next middle power alliances, smash that like button and subscribe with notifications on. Next video drops in 48 hours. We're going inside the new Canada-China trade moves. Stay informed, stay ahead. This is the Horizon Report. See you in the next one.